What is going on, guys? Kamon here. Today I'm gonna bring you guys a deck profile. This is gonna be of Swordsoul. Now this build, I've been kind of hyping it up a little bit. So if you're not paying attention, make sure you guys do check out my community tab. I post in there all the time. Also join my Discord, etc., etc. Follow me on Patreon, Twitter, IG. Get all that silly business out of the way. But let's get right into it, bro. I think this list is super good, bro. Like, so I'm gonna show you guys the main deck, extra, and the side deck. I got all the cards I needed, all the cards I wanted. So let's get right into it. Now, there are just maybe one or two things that you can change in the extra deck, but this is just more of a rough draft build. And like this, it's half standard, half like not standard. That's why I like it, because like, y'all know I don't mind playing the standard build, but I like mixing and matching. Let's get right into it. So, the monsters, you already know. 3 Yugioh, best card. I always side one out when I'm going second, if I'm being honest, because like she doesn't really do too much. Because like if I'm going second, like after siding, I'm gonna go first. So it's like, don't want to open up with her. It's better to open up with her going second, if that makes sense. So like going first, I don't really want to see her like that, because it's big ash bait. But going second, man. But yeah, so yeah, 3 Yugioh. Now social lineup, we have 3 Moye, 3 Long Yuang, 2 Taya, and I actually put in the 1 Iris Sword. So I actually bought the ulti rare for this, only because like the ulti rares, I don't really like them too much, but like the one for Iris Swordsoul looks pretty nice. You know what I mean? But I'm probably gonna end up buying the quarter century rare pretty soon, just because it's like $2 whatever. But I want to play her. You know, I feel like she's a pretty good card, and I feel like she's not really being used as much. So I decided to like play her. Plus, if you don't like her, bro, pardon me, you can just cut her. You know what I mean? But getting her super easy, summoning her super easy. So it's like, why not play it? Have another body on board, which you can link away to other things and whatnot. She has Swordsoul in her name, so she's searchable, and you can actually summon her off of your Yugioh, believe it or not, because she summons Swordsoul monsters in or Fallen Albast from your hand or deck. So I'm gonna play her at 1. I think she's pretty cool, pretty nifty. But yeah, this is pretty standard besides her, obviously. That's it for the Swordsoul. Now for the Tenyis, 3 Ashuna, 2 Vashuda, and 2 Adara. That's it. I am not playing Shatana. I traded in Shatana for the Iris Swordsoul. I want to try it out. I'm so used to playing Shatana anyways, but again, if I'm not really feeling her, I will definitely put in the Shatana back in here. But so far I'm testing it out, and I like her in here. Plus, having 2500 attack and or defense is actually pretty good too, pretty huge. So, but yeah, very standard for the Tenyi stuff. Very standard. We might get, I don't know, we might not get a new Tenyi, but like these Tenyis are very good. But yeah, I might do like a Tenyi deck profile. Honestly, like that sounds kind of clean. Not gonna lie. And obviously, 2 Revolution Synchron. This card is super handy, and this is like the main reason why I'm playing this deck again, is because of this card. First is Apple Dragon, now it's this card. I think both cards, Apple Dragon and this card, have their like pros and cons. But this one, I'm gonna show you guys a combo after like the full deck profile. But like, bro, this opens up so many plays, it's ridiculous. And it's like, I usually like doing this in case my monsters get stopped by like an Imperm, a Droplet, a Effect Veiler, etc., etc. You know what I mean? DD Crow, and all that stuff. Like, this just facilitates more combos. And the best part is, like, it's a level 3. So therefore, if you open up with your Ashuna also, you know what I mean? These two can make a freaking 10. So it's like, the thing I like about this is like Apple Dragon and this could only make a 9. These two can make a 10, and we know 10s are very strong, aka like our Barons, etc., etc. So yeah, just 2 Revolution Synchron. I think this card is super cool. You don't gotta play it if you don't want to, but it's fun, it's cute, bro. Why not play it? So 2 Rev. Now for the hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I'm maining 2 Effect Veiler, and I'm also maining 2 DD Crow, because so I'm not maining Imperm because I am maining something else. but I think this lineup is super fine. DD Crow hits everything this meta and can really stop a lot of stuff like Unchained, the Chimera branded deck, Phantom Knights, Purely, etc. Like this hits a lot of stuff, so I decided to just main deck it and not side it. So I think main deck is pretty good. And since I'm not running Imperm, Valor is just as good. We are running another card besides Imperm, but I wanted to still put in Valor because one, it's a level 1 tuner, so therefore I can still make some cool synchro plays if I really want to. And two, it's like Valor's not once per turn. You want to stop a lot of purely rescue waves, etc. You know what I mean? So like, better to stop those. And then, you know, Ash is just Ash. We like Ash in here. That is it for the monsters. Spell cards. Obviously, we're running 3 emergence. This is the Rhoda, self-explanatory. One plays card at 2, playing it at 3. Just fine. So instead of running Imperm, I'm running Valors, and I am running 3 Droplet. Droplet is very good. This can save you through like a lot of stuff, bro. Like it's kind of ridiculous how good this card is, bro. You know what I mean? And like, think of like enemy controller, but just a little bit better, because like you can just like dodge stuff plus negate things, and your opponent can't even like respond to it. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So this card's super good. Running this card at 3. And for more quick plays, we are still main decking the 2 Heavily Dragon Circle. Low-key want to play this card at 3 because like it's always live and active, but I think 2 is just fine. Just dodging stuff and getting your other worm monsters are really good. And like there's been many times where like my opponent would use Droplet and they would send everything but a spell card, so then I would just chain Circle, and then I would move my my Moye, so therefore I still get the like token summon. You know what I mean? So and then I get that search also. But yeah, just 2 Dragon Circle. Like seeing that, I do want to play the Shatana back in here. So it's like if you do cut anything, definitely cut the Iris Swordsoul for the Shatana. But I want to just show off my Iris Swordsoul. You know what I mean? No big deal. No big deal. Next, for the last spell cards, we are playing 2 talents, the 1 summon, and for the trap card, we are remaining the 1 blackout. Blackout is good going first, blackout is good going second, blackout is good overall, because you can use the sacred combo with this card. You can pitch it to graveyard, it still has its own effects, you know what I mean? So blackout is good. I wouldn't play it at 2, playing it at 1 is just fine. If you want to play it at 2, play 2 of this plus a Gold Sark, because you want to use Gold Sark. Banish this, you get a free token, you know what I mean, next turn. So, yeah. And I do love the Monster Reborn. I can't see myself taking this card out. Like, a searchable Monster Reborn is super good, and, like, you can, like, extend your, like, combos and plays with this card. Is super good. As if the main deck is solid, that's a solid 40 cards. I think the main deck is pretty good. Again, only thing I can see you guys complaining about is Iris, so if you want to play your Shatana over the Iris, you can. Again, I was just showing off my Iris because, you know, I got the ulti, so it's like, why not show it off? You know what I mean? Extra deck. Extra deck is pretty cool. Very standard, so 2 Monk, 1 Shaman, and the 1 SP Little Knight. You cannot play this deck without this card, unfortunately, because, like, this card helps fight against this entire crazy meta that we are in, aka Purely, Manadium, etc. So unfortunately, like, you can play this deck without this card, obviously, because like this is a very budget list and a very budget deck. Well, not a budget list, but this is a very budget deck. But for the people who like, you know, Swordsoul best deck and want to play like the best of its abilities, SP Little Knight is definitely one of those cards that is definitely very needed. So yeah, that's it for the links. Nothing more, nothing less. For the synchros, we are running, for the 7s, we are running the 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon and the 1 Yazi for the 7s. That's it. You go into this with your Revolution Synchron and or your other stuff. There's been many times where I don't even go into this with Revolution. I just summon like normal stuff so I can extend cards that are in my hand, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not mistaken, oh, there you go. Never mind. It's only once per time. But yeah, just 2 of these are pretty good. Just those 2. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything else is just 8s and 10s. So for the 8s, 2 Boxia. We love Boxia here. 2 Shishao, the card you go into all the time. And the 1 Draco Berserker with the 1 Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing is in here because it's early Nib baiter. You know, Nib baiter. You want to stop Nib early. So, like, the combo that you do with your Ancient Fairy Dragon, you do all that before you actually summon out a Nib. Or you can play under Nib, essentially, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And that's only if they stop your Moye and or other stuff. But, yeah, just Crystal Wing is pretty good in here. Why not play it? Because, like, there's been many times where I would summon out a Baron first turn, and then you would Nib, and then my Baron's wasted. At least with, like, Crystal Wing, you Nib, I negate that. In my turn, Crystal Wing is live again. So, yeah, that's the reason why I've been playing Crystal Wing. For the 10s, 1 Sinister, 1 Shang Ying, and then the one at Baron de Fleur. Baron. That is it for the extra deck. Now let's go into the side deck. The reason why this profile took so long to come out, waiting for the cards. So again, tokens. You're not a real Sword Soul player unless you have tokens, bro. That's all I gotta say, bro. Get your nice tokens and a field center and a mat. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's get into it. So for the side deck, for the monsters, we are siding 2 Nibiru plus the 1 Pegartops. Nib is Nib, going second is really good. Pegartops is good because you want to get rid of the SP Little Knight. You just summon this into battle, attack it. Then in your main phase 2, during the battle phase 2, you can pop this card. So therefore, you know, it's just a good card overall to have, and I think it's a good card to side. Maybe even main, if I'm being honest, but there's no real room for me to actually main this card. But yeah, I just like these 3 for the monsters because I'm already maining the DD Crows, maining the Veilers, all that stuff. So, like, I think these 3 in the side deck for monsters are very solid. So, boom, and now another expensive card. 2 Thrusts, because I've talked about earlier how I don't like to. I've generally never liked it when I open this card going first, because chances are if you have no hand trap, dead card, and even if you do, there's nothing I really want to like super duper set that I'm just like, all right, cool, it was worth it. So I think this card is genuinely better going second. So for most of my profiles, I'll be siding this card and not maining it. The reason why Talents is still in the main deck is because, like, even if they don't have a hand trap, Talents is still that good, like, emergency card. You know what I mean? If you do hand trap me, I'll do this to punish you. With this card, it's like, if you do hand trap me and it's my turn, I can't super punish you. So I think this card is better going second. So that's why I'm siding it in here. Because I'm siding it, I have other targets that I do want to see, because I do side that. So we're just gonna, we're gonna leave the thrusts right here so you guys know which cards that I do have in here to search. So for the targets, we do have the 2 Lightning Storms and the 1 Duster. So that's it for those 3. This is for back row. And we do have the 1 Herald of the Abyss, because we do not want to lose to a Noir. This card outs Noir. This is the card I was waiting for. I was like, yo, this card is mad cheap. I might as well just buy it real quick. So, bought the card that got here. You just call Noir. Your opponent can't do anything about it. And even if they have 2 Noirs on the field, that Noir is not doing anything. So, definitely play Herald in the side deck, especially if you're siding in your thrusts, because again, the purely Noir is like the biggest menace in this whole game. So it's better to try to out it. Swordsoul has a pretty good time outing it regardless, but this just makes it 10 times easier. And also, this card is good against other decks too. Like, if you're fighting against, like, Mana Diem, you know what I mean? You can call Baron de Fleur and make him waste that. Or Appaloosa, etc., etc. You're like, this card isn't just good against purely, it's good against a lot of other things. So, yeah, just, that's for those. And then we do have more cards that you can search, but they're trap cards. So we do main deck, side deck, sorry, the 2 Evenly Match, the 2 Dimensional Barrier. And again, I'm still on that 2 Magic Deflector, because this card is so sick. This card wins against Purely. It wins against Manadeum, Runic, etc., etc. Anything that doesn't have a normal spell and trap card. So like a lot of decks nowadays use a lot of quick plays, field spells, equip spells. You know what I mean? This helps against the Makonko deck too. That deck is so stupid. You know what I mean? And guess what? These are all searchable. Let's put it here, 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 here. There you go. All of these cards in the side are searchable by your thrust. So depending on what you're fighting against, if you want to, you know, fight properly and side properly, side in 2 of these, and like if you're gonna go second, like if you're gonna go first, 2 of these, and like these 4, depending on what you're fighting against. Like if I'm fighting against like you know, a certain deck that uses that stuff, this, these, you know what I mean? If you're going second, this, this, you know what I mean? These. But yeah, like the synergy for this deck is super good because like thrust searches out all of these, so like they're never dead and they're never too far from you. But I want to play these at 2Os because there are times where like I just don't draw thrust, so it's better to just hard draw one of these if I can't see thrust. So Herald is the only one that I just have to kind of search out because it's a good 1-0. Same thing for Duster. But again, that is it for the side deck. Now let's get into the super cool combo, BRB. Okay, here's the combo. You just need these 3 cards, and it's not nib proof if this resolves, but it is nib proof if they do negate Moye. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you just normal summon Moye off rip, your opponent will off rip automatically assume, okay, his hand is bad. He normal summons Moye, because most good Swordsoul players, we always wait to summon this out because this is the most important card. So this can kind of work against your opponent, if that makes sense. So you're gonna normal summon Moye, and you're going to reveal Taya. Now again, it's all about knowledge. If they see you normal summon this and you have this in your hand, it's like, damn, he has nothing left. So they're gonna imperm this, droplet, Veiler, whatever, right? This gets negated. Don't worry, you're still good. Synchro summon these 2, so the in your hand and this, and we're gonna make Fairy Dragon. Again, you're gonna draw a card here. Doesn't matter what you draw, the effect does go off here. And now you're gonna go into Fairy Dragon effect, summon this. So that's 1, 2, that's 3 summons already, right? You're gonna use your Revolution Synchron effect, middle of the top card to summon it back out. That is your 4th summon. Now you want to synchro summon these 2. Again, this is your hand, doesn't matter what it is. Into your, like I said before, Crystal Wing. That is your 5th summon. And now you can play the game properly. So with this, want to banish out the Moye here to summon out your token. And then again, you just do your normal Swordsoul shenanigans, if that makes sense. So then you want to do that. Make this card here, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. You know, we want to dump out Taya. Then we're going to search out for, oh no, Emergence. You know, Emergence. You want to get this to your hand. I just took the top card off here, but it's actually this card, believe it or not. Now, obviously, you have other cards in your hand, but, you know, you want to use your Longy Wong, pitch this, summon out. You know, get the little token there if you really want to. Synchro summon these 2. And, again, you can either make a Baron, or you can make a Sinister, but we're going to make a Baron here. Actually, no, let's just make a Sinister, dude. Make a Sinister. So we're going to have a Monster Negate, a Walking Imperm, and a Walking Interruption of 2 things. So, and that was all off of your Moye getting negated and this in your hand. So yeah, pretty good advantage in my opinion. But yeah, man, hope you guys did enjoy this, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you hit that join button if you do want to support me in all ways. I will be coming out with some Swordsoul guides for people who are very new to Swordsoul. So stay tuned to that. And see you guys next time, man. Have an awesome one. Peace.